boogity, boogity, get up on your feet.
From a star-studded field of 25 nominees, the 54 members of the voting committee and you, the fans, have done the job. We now have 5 new inductees to announce the class of 2012 for NASCAR's Hall of Fame, the 3rd such group to be enshrined. It's all at the ready. The ballots have been tabulated. The class is ready to be announced, and a hush has fallen over the room filled with NASCAR dignitaries, nominees, voting committee members, and fans. So now, for the announcement, let's go to the stage.
Yeah. Sure. He won 84 races and 3 championships. Let's welcome Darrell Waltrip to the stage.
I said I was going to do this, and I am.
Darrell Waltrip was unlike any champion before him. With 84 wins and 3 cups, Waltrip talked big and backed it up.
Earnhardt in the middle. Waltrip to the inside. Darrell Waltrip's got it.
He had nicknames like Jaws, but Jaws was winning. He backed up what he said.
Darrell is, in his way of driving, he was as good as ever come along.
He didn't just talk the talk. He walked the walk and went home with the checkered flag on more than a few occasions.
Darrell was pretty smart as far as figuring what he could do and what he couldn't do without abusing the tires. He knew when to race and when not to.
I'd sit on your back bumper and make you wonder if I was going to hit you. And every now and then I'd hit somebody just so I'd say, he will hit you. I didn't care if they mentioned my name until there was 100 to go. And then I wanted people to say, where'd he come from? I took a lot of pleasure in holding back, saving a little something, and then getting them right at the end, because it seemed like that really ticked them off.
So, what's it like? What's it like to be kissed by Jaws?
Yeah, that's what we want to
know.
know.
He was charging me, and I was like, my goodness, I hope he's going to. Then he did the kiss. I'm less happy he didn't kiss me on the lips. I'll just tell you that.
Now you know how I felt in Victory Lane when he won the 500 and he comes storming out of the car with, I'll bet, that same gleam in his eye.
Yeah, well, he's passionate, he's emotional, and look, great to see it. I could have been a big argument last year that he could have been in, but look, he's in now, and deservedly so.
And you've got great ambassadors.
After 17 years of effort, the Daytona 500 belongs to Franklin, Tennessee's Darrell Waltrip.
I won the Daytona 500. I won the Daytona 500. This is the Daytona 500, isn't it? Don't tell me it isn't. Thank God.
It was that same gleam in the eye of Darrell Waltrip that we saw just then as he bounded up on stage to greet Brian France. And now, seated a safe distance from Darrell in the Hall of Honor, Rick Allen.
Well, Mike, thank you very much. Obviously, I'm sitting here with a little bit of a prankster and a guy who likes to have a lot of fun. The newly inducted Darrell Waltrip into the Hall of Fame. And obviously, that is the ultimate goal for any driver in NASCAR, is to get into where we are right now, which is the Hall of Honor. Has it sunk in? I know it's only been about 10 minutes since your name was announced, but
Rick, I don't think I've ever had anything that's made me as nervous as coming here today did. You know, they've had 2 classes prior, and I think getting in this class, the 3rd class, has made it even better because you had to wait, and it's like everything you do. You know, when you have to wait for something, it makes it that much sweeter. And being inducted with the group I'm inducted with today, I mean, Dale Emmons been a hero of mine, Glenn Wood. I mean, these guys are heroes of mine that being in here and looking at all these pictures, these cars, this is what I aspired to be. I aspired to be one of these guys, to race the same tracks they race, to hoist the same trophies they hoist. That was what I always dreamed of, and and then your career's over with. And this is what bothered me. Okay. Somebody asked me, what do you think? I said, well, this is about what I did yesterday, and that really bothers me. I said, because that makes me a little bit nervous. But I'm just so, I'm so gratified.
You're an emotional person.
Yeah, I am.
And we've seen it many times in the broadcast. And most people know you today because of your broadcasting career. A lot of people don't know about the amazing success you had on the racetrack. And you came from a situation where you had to do it on your own. You really did it on your own. So is that much more gratifying to be sitting here in the Hall of Fame knowing that you did this one and you got here by yourself? You know,
and every man that's been inducted so far, I've had to relate, you know, something to do with. Bud Moore, I drove for Bud Moore, Dale Earnhardt, you know, Richard and Dale Inman. They were guys that were really pretty good to me for a while until I got to where I could beat them, and then we became like rivals. But it means so much. You invest your whole life in something. You can invest every penny in your pocket in something, and you hope someday you might get a return on that investment. Well, that's how I feel about my career. I invested in that, everything I had, and you know, someday I'd get a return on it.
Not only money, but
oh no, I don't mean
life.
money. I mean just to be in the same building and in the same Hall of Fame. I was one of the ones that, from the very beginning, I said, boy, if NASCAR, we got Hall of Fames all over the world, but if NASCAR just had their own Hall of Fame, what an honor it would be to be a part of that. And there's 10 other guys and 15 of us now that are in this hall, and I'm flattered to be one of them.
Let me ask you, when your name was announced, you jumped up, you were sitting by Stevie, your wife, you jumped up, ran on stage, and kissed Brian France.
Yeah, well.
How is Stevie feeling about that now?
She's okay with it. She knows me well enough to know that I didn't mean anything by that. It was just, she asked me, she said, now look, and she's always standing behind me, shaking her, like back in the day when I do those interviews and I get myself in trouble, she'd be standing behind me just like this, shaking her head, going, no, you know. And today I know, she said, whatever you do, don't make a fool of yourself. And so she was afraid I'd really planned on kissing the man, you know, but I backed off.
But
I wanted to straighten something out.
Excuse me.
I really should have run over and kissed Mike Joy, because Mike Joy has been at every significant thing that's happened in my career.
Sure.
He was in Daytona when I won the 500. We do TV together. He's here today anchoring this show, and he's somebody I should have run over and given a big hug to. But
you can still give him a kiss later.
Just sit tight, Mike.
As far as...
And Hammond's
I
here.
saw you give him a bear hug.
Yeah, you know, behind every successful driver, there's a wife. No, there's a Hammond. I just kidding. I love the man. He's been good for me.
The Daytona 500 was something that you strived for. You went over and over, year after year after year. This is another thing. When the Hall of Fame opened, you always on the back of your mind had to be thinking, when can I get into that Hall of Fame? Your numbers obviously were there. Yeah. What is it now? What is the feeling now that you know you are in the biggest thing you could ever accomplish in all of NASCAR? You're in.
Well, first of all, it's relief, because you don't want to get passed over. You know, again, this is where I wanted to. I always wanted to end up here, and with these guys, and these are my guys. And you know what you want the most? You have the fans, and they love you, some of them, and some of them don't like you so much, and that's okay, I understand that. But you want the respect of your peers. And I think through my career, and even today, 11 years since I retired, I strive every day to get the respect of my peers. And I don't just mean the guys that drive the cars. I mean people like you and in the media, people in NASCAR. You just want the respect of the people that are important to you. And today, the old bucket list, that's one I can check off, because getting in the Hall was on that list, and it feels good to be here. But I will tell you this, it's a lot like the '89 Daytona 500. I was sitting on the front row. I had a good starting spot. I had a fast car. I had a good crew. I had a smart statistician, my wife, figuring gas mileage. I had everything it took to win, but I'd had that before too. And it took me 17 years, and I thought, let me see, 17 years from now would be, and that's a long way off. So I was hoping it didn't take me that long to get into the Hall.
You're the youngest ever inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Let's hear from your crew chief. He's with Randy Pemberton.
Well, their lives and their careers, both on the racetrack and in the broadcast booth, will forever be intertwined. Your thoughts about your good friend Darrell Waltrip and your driver going in the Hall of Fame today, Jeff?
Well, Randy, the way I can kind of sum it up, it was exciting, but the emotion and understanding how much this means to him, I rank it right up there with winning the Daytona 500. I haven't seen him that emotional about something because of the fact, I think a lot like Daytona, until you're able to get in the Hall, I don't think he would have felt like his career was complete, and now it is. And I'm just so excited for him. It was a well-deserved honor. It's a well-earned honor, and just to be a part of it, I'm sitting there watching this class and thinking about Junior Johnson, and now we got Cale Yarborough, a guy that I work with, and Darrell Waltrip, the man that has inspired me and helped me so much through my entire career, both on and while we were racing as well as television. I'm just glad I was here because it's that kind of moment. It's like being in that victory lane at Daytona. It's very special.
And Darrell probably doesn't get the credit he deserves when you talk about his numbers on the racetrack. Certainly gets the credit for that. But then to go into television, he's done a terrific job. And then off the racetrack as well, Christian Mann does a lot for the community as well. People don't realize that.
That's true. I mean, he just does so much for so many different people, MRO, I should say. And he believes in our sport. He believes in the people that are part of our sport. And he tries to help those people out. A lot of times people look at him as, maybe being too critical or being too whatever. I look at him as being a man that's got a big heart, and he's done a lot for a lot of different folks. And like I say, without his help, his guidance, his leadership, I wouldn't have had the career that I did and that I continue to have. I mean, he's more than just a fellow, teammate. He's my friend. He's a man that I don't mind saying it. I love him dearly.
I know you're a great friend, and congratulations to you too. I'm sure you feel like you're in already yourself.
That's right.
Mike?
Well, it's a familiar story. The driver gets the accolades, but everybody shares in the win. And you look at Darrell's 84 victories and how many different car owners, not just with Junior Johnson and with Jeff Hammond or with his own team, with Hammond as crew chief, but all the way back to the Dygard days. And even when he started his own team, the Terminal Transport team, with help from his father-in-law, bought a used car that Mario Andretti had driven the chassis to victory in the Daytona 500. It was rebodied, and they brought it to Talladega, and he was off and running.
But, for American race fans are the big winners with Darrell Waltrip as far as I'm concerned, because he is the essence of what this whole sport's about. Those 400 short tracks, that little track in Owensboro, Kentucky, coming down to Daytona with that box of Sears Roebuck tools, remember that? And then making it grow and making it progress to a point where he comes into this Hall of Fame today. I would imagine that for a whole lot of young people watching this program today, that dream, I hope, is in their hearts too, because it's what drives this sport forward and makes it so special.
And I was working for my father and a part of his team when Darrell came along, and the two biggest cuss words you could say at our race shop was Darrell and Waltrip, because they didn't like him at all. But he came along and he backed it up. He did on the racetrack what he said he was going to do. He was brash, he was young, he was that young guy. And to Pearson and Bobby and Cale and the King and those guys, he was a threat. They were ending their career. He was starting their career. And he's almost that bridge. He and Dale Earnhardt Sr., those guys are almost that bridge a little bit between the era of the King and between the era of the Jeff Gordons and the drivers that we see today. And he was an incredible part of that. And I don't care whether you like boogity or not, he has done a tremendous job to take this forward and explain it to the average fan and lay it out so you guys could enjoy it as much as we did.
And just imagine how much that Mike Joy has to look forward to.
A kiss. He's got a kiss coming.
Yeah. Oh, my
yeah, you
heart.
do.
All those
Boy,
drivers you mentioned
I'll miss that.
would Ken or I or Barney Hall, we'd come up with our microphones. They'd talk to us. They'd talk to the writers, but they wouldn't seek them out. And Darrell Waltrip did. He sought out the media and the attention. And then, as you said, he would back it up behind the wheel on Sunday and set the stage for a whole new group of drivers that we have today. Much more to come from the NASCAR Hall of Fame as Darrell Waltrip and Rick Allen celebrate.
And great to have in our Inside NASCAR Studios Hall of Fame. Look at that smile. Darrell Waltrip, congratulations.
Oh man, what a great day. I woke up this morning, I tell you, I was more nervous than when I was starting on the front row at the Daytona 500. This day it's been weighing on me. And because it was so important, I just didn't want another group go by. I gotta tell you the truth, it was killing me.
You know what I love? Humble beginnings back in Owensboro, Kentucky. I've got great pictures of you on your go-kart with your little bubble helmet all the way to the Hall of Fame. Man, I'm proud of you.
We did it. We did it,
What
bro.
a great day.
Yeah, well, I got pictures of you in victory, sir. My first win, 1975 in Nashville, Mother's Day weekend. Here's my whole family and little Mikey, little curly hairs and standing down at the front of the car, just smiling away.
Okay, and you mentioned that win. Is this the bookend that puts that all together?
Kyle, I look at my career, and when I look at anybody's career, not just mine, but you invest. You put everything you got into it. You put your heart, your soul, you put your money, your blood, your sweat, your tears. You just invest. This is a return on that investment. This is the big payoff for all those sleepless nights and heartburn and crashed race cars and everything else.
Probably even getting beat up back in the day, right?
Got people taking shots at you.
What, children swinging you?
Hey, drivers have a roll
Drivers past and present well aware, including Sunday's winner, 84th career win for Jeff Gordon, so he's in a three-way tie, third on the all-time list, as we mentioned at the top of the show. He has great appreciation for the legends that he's mixed with.
It is extremely special to me, to be able to do something that Darrell Waltrip and Bobby Allison did, especially wins. That's a big number. But I don't think that I can truly reflect and put into words what it means to me.
Yeah, and current drivers, Darrell, you set a standard for them, a target.
Well, you know what? But I totally understand what he's saying. When somebody said to me, "You got 84 wins," I thought, "Yeah, big deal. You got 84 wins." But just like I've stood up there for the last 11 years and watched Jeff Gordon work, and to see a guy win and it has 84 wins, that's a significant accomplishment. And even though you don't think about it for yourself, but when you see somebody else do it, it makes you realize that's a huge number. 84 wins.
How hard it is. The three championships, is there something you're most proud of through your racing career?
I think a number of things, but one of the most special memories I have was in the 2000 awards banquet at the Waldorf in New York. Bill France, sick, in a wheelchair, no hair. He came to the banquet, sat on the front row, so he could be there when they gave me the Bill France Award of Excellence. I was surprised, I had no idea, and the battles that we had fought and the things that we had been through, and for that to be important for him to come there, and the condition he was in, I'll never forget that.
Father of NASCAR. For Michael, Darrell learned from Leroy. For Brad, it was Roy. Of course, Kyle, son of the King. Our guys, like so many fans, have an appreciation of NASCAR, which has deep roots as a family sport.